G'day, cheers. It's just a hobby pail in a glass that my mate Andrew brought me back from Los Angeles. Oh, Las Vegas. Las Vegas. I'm so good with geography. Las Vegas. Banger Brewing. Thanks very much, Andrew. Good. Nice glass. Anyway, brewed today. Still clearing out. I've only just finished another hoppy pail. It's a bit cloudy because I squeezed the hop bag. Don't see people talk about squeezing the hop bag. They talk about squeezing the grain bag. Just squeeze any bag you can. Was in the Robo Brew again today just for simplicity. It's bloody hot. It's nearly 40 degrees. It's before midday, so it's going to get hotter. Anyway, as I mentioned before, my computer died a bit, so I lost a bit of footage. The one of me talking, and it was a bit out of sync anyway, so it's a good thing. I managed to save the tasting video, thank God, and the dry hopping, I think. But I wanted to go over a few things about the Cooper's NEIPA, New England IPA. You know, some people might say it's not, you know, a true NEIPA IPA, but there's no set guidelines yet. So, you know, make of that what you will. But it's pretty bloody good, and I've had a few people get back to me after they've brewed it and they've liked it too. I just wanted to mention one thing. You don't really have to do a mini bash. It will help, and using the porridge or the oats, flaked oats, will help give a bit of that style. But you could do the same methods with just some dry malt, light dry malt. I've got some here somewhere, or some liquid malt. You know, I don't know, 5 litres, 500 grams, and use the same method with the hops and do the steep and the dry hop. Probably it won't be quite as good, or it won't be as close to an NA IPA, but it will be an IPA, and it'll be tasty. So that's worth trying too if you don't want to stick to the mini mash. But I wanted you just to have a go because it's very easy, and it's that next step. If you want to go up, if you don't have to. But it adds to your beers. What else do I have to say? These are the notes from the original one I did in front of my computer. Water chemistry. I know some purists will probably go, oh, you didn't adjust the water. I actually did adjust the water a touch. I didn't add much, but then I didn't include it in the video because everybody's water is so different. And that's why I don't talk about water a lot. It's really hard for me to go, this is what I do. Unless you live in in a house that's coming off the same reservoir or dam that we're coming off, then it's no use to you. But you could add some calcium to it, teaspoon of calcium, but it depends on your water. That's why I didn't mention much about the water treatment. I kept it to simple ingredients for obvious reasons. It's just easy for people to get. Water chemistry. Time. It does take time. I know in the video it might look fast and there's an hour mash, but it's still a couple of hours. So if you haven't got a couple of hours, if you think you've got to go somewhere and you've only got an hour or two to do it, give yourself a few hours. You've probably found that out now if you've tried to brew it. And another thing with time, where's the camera? Don't waste time. Don't waste time. What I mean by that is, once you've got the hops for the steep, don't stuff around. Like if I forget what it was, 15 minutes steep or whatever it was, it needs to be 15 minutes. If you get, called away and you haven't cooled the wort down enough and the bitterness is still coming out of the hops, if you leave it for half an hour, it's totally going to change the beer. So you just got to, that's about the only real important thing in it. The mash doesn't matter if you leave it longer. There's no real boil. I mean, there is a boil, but there's no boiling hops, so it doesn't matter if you boil it a bit longer. But once you put the hops in, especially if you haven't put that cold water in like I did, that's when you want to take care of the time, because you'll just start getting more bitterness out of the hops if you haven't cooled the water down. I think that's about it. I know I would have forgotten something. Anyway, There's a bit of footage at the end. The tasting will be here, and whatever else I can find. I think it's only the dry hopping maybe. And I'll eventually get the recipe updated on cellar dwellers. The basic recipe's there, but I will give a more detailed written one. For anyone that wants me to do it anyway, just ask. I can email you or send it. Anyway, thanks very much. Happy New Year. Sorry for the delay. Shouldn't talk with it when your beer's halfway down your throat. Sorry for the delay. But you know, you get that. It's this time of year. Anyway, I'm going to go inside before it gets any hotter. It's a bloody lovely day though. Just figured out the dry hop. The wife and kids are here, so you'll probably hear them come in and start yelling at me in a minute. I don't know what I've got. There is about nearly 30 grams worth of Citra. I'll chuck in some... What have we got here? I'll chuck in some Simcoe. Got to be lined up with a Simcoe. I say that and I've just put in what's that, 15 grams. There's 20 grams just about of Simcoe. And I'll chuck in maybe some Centennial. I like Centennial, so maybe I'll chuck in a fair whack of that. Maybe 50 grams. I'll just take it to 100 grams. There we go. Might as well just chuck all that in. Well, there's a fair dry hop for you. The rest is Centennial to 107.8. You don't need to go this excessive. And you could split this up between two lots for two different times of dry hop, but I'm just going to whack this in now. So just I'm going to do a quick comparison between the extract, which is the middle one, and the all grain. They've been in the keg. This one's been, the extract's been in the keg probably 3 weeks now, and this one's probably 5 weeks. So they're starting to clear. That's what happens. You can actually, you know, shake your keg up a bit if you want to keep it cloudy. But we'll see how we go. This one's the all grain one, the original one I brew. I don't think the gas is on this keg. Well, it's pouring a bit slow. I won't pour a full one. And this is the Cooper's one. Alright, so Cooper's is in this hand. They're both, look, that's nearly identical. To me, oh, the kids are here. To me, that's nearly identical. Alright, all grain aroma. That it is dropping, but it's still there. And it's still lovely. Excuse the kids. And it is getting to the end of its... You don't store these beers for a long time, so it is getting to the end of its life, but it is still very, very tasty. I was going to swear then. These aren't beers you store or age. You drink them as fresh as can be. So I'm surprised that's still standing up so much. Now here's the Cooper's one from the kit you saw me make. The exact same one. Awesome aroma. And that's nice. I think it's got just a touch more bitterness than this. And that would be because the base of the recipe, just with the Cooper's can, is bitter already. But it's nowhere near, you know, they might not be exactly an NEIPA because they're a little bit more bitter, but I like it like that, and I made it like that. There's no formal style for any IPA yet anyway, as far as I know. And just like my black metal IPA, that was made before there was an official style black metal IPA, and I made it the way I like to drink it, and it's the same what I've done with this. I think some of the commercial ones are way not bitter enough. But I know that's the style that you brew to what you like, don't you? So this could be an NA IPA, or you could even just use it as a normal IPA. Anyway, cheers, that's about it. I'm not going to go into it too much further. There's a lot of hop there, there's a lot of flavour there, and I suggest, if you wanted to try this, to do it. Look at that. And I would test anybody to tell the difference. That's a good thing about these big hoppy beers, between the all grain and the, even by sight, I couldn't. I know I couldn't. Look at that. The Cooper's one might be slightly clearer, but I tell you what, put it up to the light there, it's not much. They look identical, and that's a fluke. That's a fluke. But there you go, I'd try it if I was you. If you want to try something different. It takes a little time, but the rewards are worth it. Cheers. Brew it. It's easy and you'll like it.